Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, 3 Degrees of Love. It's your girl Alana here. So I have another sort of raw video for you. It's about 3:38 p.m. on December 23rd, 2021. And I wanted to just talk about movies for a second. I've since COVID and stuff, I and just the way the last sort of couple of years now have been for me. I've been at home, and so I think towards the beginning, like one of my introductory videos, and stuff, I briefly talked about how watching a lot more YouTube videos and things like that, and just real people talking, and again talking about spirituality and love essentially, and us supporting one another, and so in doing that, I'm getting to know a lot of other people that aren't in the sort of forefront media, if you will, right? Real people doing smaller things, kind of like what I'm doing with, right now here on YouTube. So I, as again, coming from a very spiritual, religious background is Christianity, which, as I've mentioned, I still consider myself to be to this day. But sort of bringing that around to, just other sort of practices and sort of the inclusivity of spirituality, right? And incorporating that and taking from all these different divisions. And how I also see the connection between that and mental health, and the importance of having a really good spiritual practice, and that being something that I hold near and dear to me, and the fact that I discovered that what I am is love, and that's what I want to embody more of, and recognizing that that is something of value that is near and dear to me, and is what I am and try to embody, and throughout my life have always had that desire to do. So with that being said, I realized that all that sort of that core value too is also something that is not only practiced consciously in the acts and the things that I choose to do, but also is instinctual in me. And things that, I'm attracted to and stuff like that is something that is what I feel called to do. So with that being said, I wanted to share some stuff that has been going on in my head. Sorry. I don't know what happened there. And I just got caught up in all of that in that moment. So sorry about that. But yeah, so there have been some, movies and stuff that I've sort of been watching lately. And while watching it, I suddenly had this, that like reading, this understanding, this read between the lines sort of moment, and what we're seeing, what we're projecting out into the world, what people have thought of as stories and things like that to discuss, and what they put out into the world. And there have been a few movies that have sort of been, what's the word, reflecting that in their storylines. If you were really to really pay attention to the storyline, you would see that they're kind of all connected, right? And one of the ones that really have gotten me is more recently, a newer one, is Free Guy. That's the one with Ryan Reynolds, who's also a Canadian. Hey! Shout out to my Canadians. Hey! And so there's that. Then I remember another concept that I watched and was drawn to, and even to this day remember very well, and it's been, oh God, way over a decade that I last saw this this movie, but it's been very popular. And I just happened to watch the new one, the fourth installment of this movie franchise, The Matrix. And I remember what the story, as I was watching the fourth installment, and they were showing clips from, and connecting the other sides to the story. My arm's getting a little tired, sorry. It really was clicking and seeing some of those reflective moments. And the idea of even certain moments in my life and the whole effects of deja vu, for example. Anyways, go watch The Matrix, okay? And make sure that you watch it with an open mind. And at the same time as you watch, try and pay attention to some of those moments in the movie that resemble moments you've had in your own life. That's creativity. And if you can somehow find a connection in those movies and scenarios, then know that you share a very similar experience. And that, my friends, is another way to know why we are all connected and why we should always do unto others as we would like them to do unto us. And not fight against that like a magnet with two negatives. Two wrongs don't make a right. The circle effect. Fluidity. Unacy. We are all one. And the things that we project to ourselves, that we absorb, comes from somewhere. Make sure that what you're doing is how you want others to treat you. There's a reason why the word love is a very encompassing and circular and earthy and flowy kinds of things, and emotional, and why all we associate all of that the way that we do. It's all internal, guys. We are all connected. That's how we're connected. It's not what we see externally. When we fight, what we project and fight against what we experience, it would always be rigid. The reason why fire and swords earth, water, fluidity, and why we associate the earth, the water, with internal, because that is what we are. When we can connect the opposite, and create that love, that's how we get back to one. Through our insides. The warm, the soft, the soothing. Yeah? If we're gonna fight, then let's fight for what we know is on the inside. By being what we are on the inside. And in the name of 3 degrees of love, live, listen, and learn. Peace and love, everyone.